Right. You got an overlay. You want to get rid of your overlay,
Do I? Oh well, the game's starting soon.
and you got to change the names and.
Da, la, da, 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 da. Look at it all disappear. It's gone now. Look at that. That's beautiful. So overlay gone, and we are going to be picking this stream back up at the moment as I just configure a few things.
Right. So they're in pics now, aren't they?
Yeah, they should have insta locked in, or which they have.
Yeah. Once the game starts, I'm gonna Alt F4 and restart my game because mine hasn't even gone in yet. I should be able to reconnect as a streamer. So.
Oh right, that's not very good if that doesn't work out.
No, well, I can always help out anyway. So, once the game starts and you're in the loading screen, let me know and I'll reset it.
Yes, boss.
Sorry about that little lag spike there. The game, as you can see, will be underway in about 3 minutes.
Looks like there's some major issues going on collectively in the world at this current period of time. I don't even know what I'm talking about. But yeah, like you said, Alex, having some internet problems. If you live in England, you know what the internet can be like in this country. For some reason, it's really not that good, which is...
It wasn't that bad. I mean, I had the whole game. I didn't drop a single frame that entire game, and all of a sudden, I just lost internet for a whole minute.
Yeah, but like I said, it can be annoying, to say the least.
Yeah.
Which
So I'm doing a quick internet speed test, and my internet as of the moment is fine, as always. Well, it's not great, but it's fine. So hopefully I'll be able to pick up maybe after this game.
Yeah.
Unless you want to stay on. My upload's 3.5, so it's not too bad. 4 now, it's just rising. But this is finally we're underway. This is the second game of the MSI NVIDIA Trophy semi-finals between WinFakt and CLG. It's a best of 3, and CLG won the first game, and we'll be underway soon.
Yeah, looking forward to this game. It has been very much taking its time to get through. We have just been waiting for it, and yeah, so pretty much just waiting for this game to start. Like you said, gonna have to do a little bit of filling around between starting up, as I wasn't ready, 100% ready to be picking up your stream, as I thought it was going to be fine.
So did I, yeah.
But if we do have a quick look through the team sheets on WinFakt, we've got Kolbor, Shivana, Nunu, Ari, and Riven. Very strong setup there. I think Ari's going to be quite a big pick for them. How do you feel Ari's going to fare against Kennen at mid?
Ari is the most mobile AP mid, but Kennen is one of the longest ranged AP mid, so they sort of counter each other out. But I have faith in Ari.
Yeah, Ken's got a lot of, like you said, a fair bit of range. It's got a nice bit of harass. Obviously, Ken's ulti is pretty strong, but is it as strong as Ari's? That's going to be the main question. If Ari can get her burst off quickly enough, Ken's going to be pretty much useless. So it's going to be a tough decision for both teams really. Where it's going to where the game is going to pivot, where it's going to be won and lost. I think top lane Riven versus Irelia is going to be pretty solid. Obviously CLG running out Urgot, Yana, Kennen, Irelia and Trundle. So fairly even setup as we do go into Champion Select, and we're going to see who wins the skin war. Who do you think is going to get it?
Well, so we're in load screen now. I'm going to try and reconnect now. Okay.
Oh yeah, you're not apparently in the game.
No, not yet. So I'm going to Alt F4 this and try and reconnect. Hopefully that'll fix it.
Sucks to be you. As we do look at the skins, everyone's got skins. Everyone's got a skin.
Every skin. That's a rarity.
Every skin. 5, 10 out of 10 even. That's madness. So many skins going on.
Good. Lovely.
And we are just about to probably get into this game very quickly. Obviously it doesn't take these players any time at all to get into the game. And very much looking forward to this starting.
Have you changed the names of the overlay?
Yeah. And I remembered to turn the overlay on just now.
Good now. Good. Just make sure, because you need to have the team names and everything. Please be working. No!
Yeah. So we are into this game. Dear ballers. So we can see there an early flash coming out from CLG, and obviously a same one there from WinFakt. Both teams looking like they want to get involved. Some kind of defensive setup here. We can see CLG got coming forward into this forward front bush here. Looks like he's happy to sort of sit in front and like we said, play quite a defensive setup. We can see them, both teams kind of putting up a defensive line. We have got Riven down in this bottom bush just in case they might think that Yana and Urgot are going to come down and try and annoy them on the 2 double golems, and they might think about trying to pick up a kill there. So it might not be a terrible shout for them, as Ari and Nunu now come down into that same bush. So the whole of WinFakt in one place maybe are looking to go for an early gank here. Are running across, now look like they're going to go straight up towards Golem. Urgot obviously in the way, is going to take a little bit of damage here from Riven, taking a fair bit of damage, does have to flash away eventually in the end. Riven's still chasing, doing a fair bit of damage, but nothing's going to come of it. And now WinFakt look like they're going to push in either on blue or just wait for a kill.
And when you say flash, by the way, you mean clairvoyance, of course.
Huh?
Not clairvoyance, you mean pinging, not flashing. Physically flashing, you don't mean that, do you?
Urgot flashed away.
As in, oh, flashed away, no, don't worry. Okay, yeah, so they are in a slight, they need to be careful though. I think everyone's just trying to play it safe as
Does look like WinFakt. So are you back in the game?
No. I'm having to watch the stream.
Okay, so did it not work?
I relogged, but my LOL seemed to have had a little spaz attack.
Oh no, what, have you got the stream up? Well, you can tell me if the stream looks rubbish. So WinFakt are indeed picking up the Golem buff here, so Shyvana has picked up Golem. Nice little steal for there. Trundle picking up red buff. Maybe going to run straight across the Golem here. Has already used Smite, but does look like he's going to run straight down onto this Golem. We are going to follow him down onto it, and he's going to pick this up probably before Shyvana can do anything about it. Shyvana at the moment still down by double Golems, and does look like it's going to pick it up. Has been warded though, so Ari is completely aware of this. Snoopy maybe needs to be a little bit careful here. Ari has gone miss, and Trundle does seem to know about it, so Trundle has left now. So a nice early play there from CLG, trying to pick up that Golem, but in the end Shyvana going across with the whole of the rest of the team was just a lot stronger.
Definitely. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing Ari and Kennen having a nice little fight at mid, and seeing which of them can get the most farm, because it's always important to farm as much as possible, really. And we will see that Kennen probably is a better at farming, solely because of her that surge that she does, where she does a lot of damage to everyone she hits with a Mark of the Storm. So I think Kennen may have a slight upper hand at mid, but we will see.
Yeah, an interesting ward from Yana, obviously given a fair bit of vision into this bush here, so they do know where Shyvana is and what side of the map, so it's quite a very useful ward essentially there. Does let CLG know what is going on. Obviously they did lose out to that early Golem still, so they're probably a little bit upset about that at the moment, but Snoopy is coming in on this top lane. Riven ever so slightly stepped forward, could get caught out here. Wicked does eventually jump in, doing a fair bit of damage. Riven trying to jump away here. Trundle coming in, does have red buff, does get the auto attack off, but it's not going to be enough. Riven did have a potion ticking as well, and that's just not going to be enough there. So the Pillar of Filth, well placed there, obviously did get Riven slightly out of position, but it wasn't enough to pick up a kill there, and they just didn't really have the early game damage, unfortunately.
It's very hard to gank a Riven, especially this early on in the game when they have flash, so doing damage is essentially a successful gank anyway.
Oh yeah, definitely. Urgot and Yana looking pretty happy to sort of sit. Urgot seems almost AFK at times, just standing dead still, waiting to pick up kills. Don't know if this is some kind of Yellow Pete tactic with Urgot, but he is standing very stationary. Both teams look pretty much casual in this bottom lane, which is very interesting.
They're statues.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing, as Urgot does manage to pick up a really good shot there, doing a bit of damage to Cogmore. Decided not to hit all three of his Acid Hunter there, after he did pick up the lock-on with the Noxian Corrosive Charge. That's not a mouthful. Did pick up that quite nicely. But yeah, it does look like Urgot is pretty much asserting himself, is leaving Cogmore in a range where he's not comfortable with, so that he can pick up the Noxian Charge there and do a lot of damage with the Acid Hunter move. So definitely looks like Urgot is having the best of it down in this bottom lane, and Cogmore almost getting zoned in a really strange sort of way.
Coldmore has more range, but only at level 6, so he does need to sort of wait until then before he can retake the lane, really.
Yeah, the problem Cogmore is having is that obviously with that Acid Hunter, which you can hit 3 times if you manage to get the lock on with the corrosive charge. If you can get that, Cogmore's going to find himself in a lot of trouble, and just really can't do that much about it. And like we see, Urgot just sitting in front of the minions, happy to try and block out Cogmore's farm here, and trying to hit those charges whenever he can, and then hitting a lot of damage with Acid Hunter. So without a heal or a shield in that bottom lane, Cogmore looks pretty weak. Nunu's not really offering that much support.
No, Nunu's more of an endgame support. He offers, because at endgame heals become less valuable. They're less valuable, so attack speed, movement speed buffs are much more important.
Ken dropping an ult in mid, does drop an ignite as well. Ari taking a lot of damage, does not have level 6 yet. Is going to drop quite low. Snoopy coming in from the side, does drop a pillar of filth. Doesn't look like he's going to have the damage. Maybe just going to try and get some damage down. Now getting hit a lot by the tower. Maybe going to get picked up here. Does flash over the wall, but does drop, and first blood goes to Ari in mid there. Very strange play there from Trundle, getting a little bit unlucky. Sure, he wanted to pick up first blood himself. As now Ken's going to take a lot of damage, not quite dropping. Wow, Ken just about getting away with 15 health there. So Ari almost picking up 2 kills at mid, but not quite picking up the second one. So an excellent start in this game for WinFakt.
Wow, that was some pretty impressive fight there. The Shyvana came in, wasn't able to pick up Kennen, but was able to scare her off enough so that Ari was able to survive. So good team play there from Team WinFakt.
Yeah, doing a lot of damage. Not entirely sure what the stream is like. You can give me a quick heads up.
It seems fine at the moment. It's a touch laggy, but there's nothing to complain about.
Dun dun dun. So as we can see, going back to this Urgot farm in bot, Urgot on 54 minions already. Cogmore starting to drop behind already, only on 32. So 20 minions behind already, only 7 minutes into the game. If that continues through, Cogmore is going to find himself a long way behind Urgot in a very short space of time.
These things do tend to snowball, because once you're behind, it's very hard to catch up unless the other team makes a mistake. So they do need to be careful not to fall behind. CLG only have a very slight goal advantage, even though First Blood did go to
WinFakt.
the other team. WinFakt, sorry. And they do need to be careful. They don't fall behind on farm.
Like we can see, Urgot find it very easy to zone out Cogmore at the moment. Trying to do a bit of damage. Shyvana might come in here from the side, does have an ult. Urgot gets slowed there by the Nunu Frostbolt. Yana knocks both of them up there. Probably going to get away quite comfortably. And now Urgot's going to turn around and deal a lot of damage from the range. Nunu taking a lot of damage from the Acid Hunter shots. One more shot would have taken down. Shyvana had to go in there and do a fair bit of damage. Now Shyvana taking a lot of damage. So Urgot doing damage to everyone here. And the whole of WinFakt find themselves below 50% health, just from Urgot's damage alone. So Urgot looking so strong already.
Urgot is going to be one to watch, definitely, for the future. And I don't know what he's going to be building, really. The mana regen is essential, so maybe a mana immune for Urgot. It's kind of hard to say.
Yeah, not sure if we're going to see a mana immune. He has gone back, has picked up the tip of the guy, so yeah, mana immune is going to be coming through. Obviously a strong item for Urgot at this sort of stage of the game. So yeah, Urgot looking very strong in that lane, like we've already said. If we have a quick look through on a mid, Ken farming really well as well, completely out farming Ari at mid. So this is where CLG's sort of extra knowledge, game knowledge coming into the game here. They know that if they can pick up enough CS, it doesn't really matter if they drop a kill. And Ken looking very strong in this middle lane at the moment as well.
Kennen has 62 minions compared to Ari's 38, so 20 more minions. Even though Kennen's down a kill, 20 minions is a kill in gold.
It is a kill nonetheless. We see top lane Aurelia doing a fair bit of damage out to Riven there. Riven's going to TP back now. Just giving Aurelia the chance to sit up in this lane. Obviously, is going to enjoy it. It looks like they're going to push forward on this lane. As Snoopy comes forward, takes down 3 minions. Going to push forward here. Next lot of minions aren't going to come quickly enough. But maybe are going to push through on this tower. Shyvana coming up now, and they are going to back away, as they don't seem to want to get in a fight. But like I said, with farm already, Aurelia 85 farm, Riven only on 40, so CLG out farm. So WinFakt really need to either start getting a lot of ganks going, or trying to pick up a little bit more farm.
Just stream, alright?
I think so.
How's the frame dropping going?
I think it reset,
Yeah, I think your stream's gone offline.
but I didn't lose any internet connection.
Stream's offline. It hasn't come back online just yet. Is it? Are you still dropping frames?
Yeah. Do you want to switch on?
Well, I can't. I've got no game to look at.
Shyvana completely out of position, going to take a lot of damage to Ken, and Ken doing way too much damage there. Snoopy picking up the first squad, and now CLG are going to pick up the first dragon. Has it come back on?
Yeah, we're back on.
Do apologise for that. Both of us are having internet issues, but apparently so are the players, so we'll blame Riot.
Yeah, blame Riot.
So Ari doing a lot of damage here. Obviously Urgot managing to get that Noxian charge on. Now Ari jumps in with 2 of her ulti hits there. Drops the ignite onto Urgot. Urgot does drop in the end. Now Riven coming in from the side. Snoopy taking a lot of damage. Gonna drop low, but Yana's knock up there just enough to get the range. Riven could jump in here and put an ult down on top of Yana. Could pick up a kill. Is going to drop the ignite, and that will pick up the kill. So WinFakt coming back through strongly there and picking up 2 kills. So they do pull ahead in the kill count 3-2, but they are still 2,000 gold behind in farm, as it looks like WinFakt are thinking about trying to pick up this first dragon.
They definitely have the chance to do it now. They've got 2 kills in CLG and they've got 20 seconds, so opportunities there.
Yeah, and it does look like they are going to pick it up, so that's 190 gold for each player. So a really good pickup for them, and that is going to pull them just below CLG in terms of overall farm and gold counts. So definitely a great pickup for them.
They definitely needed it. They're falling behind on farm, so the gold from the dragon will more than enough to keep them up to date with CLG. And it looks like Urgot's holding out on the man immune and gone straight for the brutalizer. So he's holding out for it. He doesn't really become effective until you get some more and more mana on Tear of the Goddess. So it looks like he's going to try and hold out and just until he got at least maybe 100 200 mana extra, because it doesn't really become effective until late game. It's a good little boost of damage though. The brutalizer gives good armor pen, cooldown reduction. It does give cooldown, doesn't it? Brutalizer?
Yeah.
Yeah. A little bit, just a tiny little bit. So it is quite a nice item for Urgot.
So Urgot's still doing a lot of damage down this bottom lane. Trundle coming in here is going to sit in this bush. There is a ward in it, unfortunately for him, so he has been spotted already. Irelia taking a lot of damage up in that top lane, but easily getting away in the end. Riven punching out on ult to pick up some minions, and he's going to drop back. But really desperately needs to pick up some farm here. As we can see, Riven 68 farm to Irelia's 132. Irelia essentially double the farm. Ken in mid as well, 40 minions up. Urgot in this bottom lane, 93 minions to 78. So he's well ahead as well. So CLG, in terms of farm, are looking very strong in this game, unfortunately, for WinFakt.
Yeah, they've got they have a slight better stats, but it's just the farm. The farm will prevail endgame, I think. And they do need to be careful that Ken and especially Irelia don't get out of control of their farm, as no one on Team WinFakt have over 100 minions yet. So that is a bit of a problem.
Yeah, they are really starting to fall behind on minions, like we said already, which is very unfortunate for them. They will need to start picking up a few more minions than they are already. As you see, Codmore using his ult to pick up minions at the moment because he is getting blocked a lot, as a lot of flashes going down from CLG here. Maybe looking for a gank on Riven or something there, but Riven has eventually dropped back now. And Irelia is starting to farm really easily up in this top lane.
She's going to find it quite easy quite soon, especially once you had the slight advantage of minions. Well, Riven's on 78, I think, and Irelia's on 135. So that's a very silly amount of minions lead. That's almost double.
Yeah, it's an absolutely massive gap in the moment between the CSs. So Riven's going to really start falling behind very soon. Shyvana looks like she's going to come up into this top lane. Irelia doesn't have a ward down, so this might not be a bad shout. Shyvana does eventually come in. Irelia starting to run away, taking a fair bit of damage though. Picking up a lot of life still with her ulti. Does take the ignite in the end. Drops the stun. Now going to run underneath the tower, taking a lot of damage, and Wicked does indeed drop. But so much CS in front, I don't know if it's going to make a huge amount of difference. But good kill there for WinFakt up in top lane. Shyvana coming in strongly, Riven doing a lot of damage. So Riven definitely one to watch, has now got her first blood, so she has got a fair bit of gold catch up.
Yeah, and it's important that once Aurelia is dead, she can't get minions. So it is going to slow her down and maybe allow Riven to get a bit of farm if she decides to go back to her lane.
Yeah, Nunu taking a bit of damage down this bot lane. Did try to ulti, but Yana instantly counter ultied. Does look like he is going to drop to the Acid Hunter shot over the top. The Summoner heal not enough to keep him up. So Urgot picking up such an easy kill, barely losing any health again. And Urgot now finds himself with 4,500 gold overall. So well ahead. Interesting to note that Aurelia might have picked up a lot more farm, but Riven, after picking up that kill, only finds herself 200 gold behind, so pretty much nothing in it in that top lane.
Oh, that's very impressive. The dragon helps as well, and the kills really. She has got 1 kill compared to Aurelia's no kills. So that does eventually add up. So that is good. They are keeping up even though they are behind quite a lot in minions.
Yeah, definitely a long way behind in minions. Does look like Urgot is going to go back. Probably going to pick up a Manamune. Probably going to see it flash in this section of the screen. And there it is, the Manamune picked up. As Aurelia runs forward, drops a ward, bang on top of her other ward, which is just about to run out, which gives her complete vision on WinFakt's Golem. So a nice ward there from Aurelia, and it is going to give them all the vision they want. As Riven drops out a ward into the river from well, she went back through into this tri-bush here and then dropped straight back forward. Aurelia doing a lot of damage at the moment, obviously picking up that Wit's End early, now picking up a Phage. Riven is a little bit scared that Phage is going to proc a lot with all that attack speed, so he needs to be very careful at the moment.
And this game, the gold's very even at the moment. I'm so impressed that WinFakt have been keeping up with gold, and the items as well. I mean, Aurelia with Wit's End, and maybe looking to build a Trinity Force. So Aurelia will be becoming very powerful probably within about 10 minutes time once she leaves the lane, has a Trinity Force, and is just going to go terrorizing the entire game.
I think you're pretty much right there. So much damage.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, they've got so much damage from all this extra CS. Yana getting flashed here is trying to pick up this ward that she dropped a pink there, so now they've got complete vision on Dragon. Looks like they want to try and pick up the Dragon. Obviously they didn't pick up the first Dragon, so definitely looking like they want to try and pick this up. Both teams now coming in, so they're going to be a big team fight, 5v5 here. Ward's going down. Ken trying to get a little bit of harass out. I do believe that WinFakt could find themselves in a fair bit of trouble in this team fight. Urgot's starting to harass out now, and they need to be careful. They don't want to start losing too much health before the fight even starts. Dragon has now come up. Like we said, Urgot now getting a lot of harass off there on Ahri, doing a lot of damage. Now she's below 50% health, just like that, from 2 shots from Urgot. CLG looking really strong to defend in this position here. Looks like they're going to try and pick up a cheeky Golem still here at the same time. Have decided to back away from it. And now they're going to start on the Dragon, as we can see. So are starting on the Dragon. They are going to pick it up quite comfortably at this rate. WinFakt not really offering that much. Nunu now coming in from the side. Yana dropping out a Hurricane there, trying to do a bit of damage. Nunu taking a lot of damage from Ken at the moment. As Aurelia jumps in, tries to do a lot of damage. Wicked dropping pretty low there, but Wicked does eventually pick up Revan. Urgot already going off. Ken dropping his ulti in the end. Nunu dropping to Aurelia. Ahri taking a lot of damage, but just about picking up Aurelia herself. Now she's going to drop to Urgot with an acid on a shot there. Way too easy for Urgot. Shyvana doing a lot of damage to Yana, but she's quite happy to kite him around and help her team pick up the kill. Urgot jumps over the wall, does manage to hit with the Noxian Charge, and now the acid will pick up the kill, and they do pick up the first ace of the game. Massive ace there for CLG, and it never really looked like it was going to go another way in that fight.
No, they did be very. I think WinFakt did actually get the Dragon, did they? I think so, because they're not too far behind on gold. So they did manage to get a Dragon, but paying for it with an ace is paying a bit too much, I believe. So first ace from CLG, and I think they should be able to at least secure 1 or 2 towers with that.
Yeah, they have secured that bottom tower, as we've just seen. As we scoot up into middle lane, they might be picking that one up as well. So the 2 turrets they pick up here could keep them pretty much ahead. Don't think they're going to push down mid. They would prefer for the tower to steal the CS instead, which is obviously better for them in the long run. And like we were saying, in terms of CS as well, WinFakt really are struggling in this game. Aurelia 166 to Riven's 110, so 56 minions up. Cogmore 105 minions to Urgot's 140, so 35 minions up for Urgot. Ken 195 to Ari's 130, so he's 70 minions up at this stage of the game, and these are huge CS counts, and these are really going to be playing a massive role in this game.
Definitely, especially as the game goes on.
And Aurelia doing a lot of damage here to Riven. Is going to get stunned by Riven, but it's quite happy to harass here. Riven can do nothing about this at the moment. Nothing at all. And the Wit's End on Aurelia is giving her the life switch need. Ari is coming up here, but Aurelia is going to just get under the tower, which will probably be enough to keep her alive. Does drop the ult. She needs a little bit of life steal from that. Had got the ignite on her, but she is going to stay up quite easily as Ken picks up middle turret. Shyvana now coming in from the side. Wicked can find himself in a lot of trouble. Does jump back in under his tower. Quite nice play there. Isn't going to be able to stay up there and does drop in the end, so a nice kill there for WinFakt, but Ken is still pushing quite hard in that middle lane. They are going to pick up this top turret as Ken decides he's just waiting for his minions to come through. Kog'Maw and Nunu coming in from the other side. Kog'Maw doing a little bit of damage here to Ken. Ken's now going to find himself backing off, is slowed down a fair bit. Kog'Maw still pumping out the damage, doing a fair bit of damage here to Ken. Ken needs to be careful, dropping below to 25% health. No one really coming in from the side to do any damage there, and Ari picking up a golem buff quite easily as well.
Wow, so that was pretty good. Didn't go too badly for WinFakt. They did get the top turret. They did get Aurelia. They did get blue buff steal. Or no, there wasn't a steal, but they did get blue buff.
Ari picked up that blue buff quite easily, yeah, which was
yeah. But Kennen did get mid turret, so it's sort of evened out. But I think that went slightly in WinFakt's favour.
Yeah, definitely. As we see, we got this from the new patch. We get the little updates of what items are bought, if it's wards and all that stuff. So, nice little add-on, I think, that was in the patch. Going straight back into the game. Aurelia now starting to farm really heavily, along with Kennen as well. Both of them, well, Ken above 200 minions already. Aurelia looking to get to 200 very quickly. Riven and Ari really finding themselves quite far out in this game at the moment.
It's quite interesting to see that Kennen has gone for an Abyssal Scepter before going for the Ryle's Crystal Scepter. I always tend to believe that a Crystal Scepter is probably better than a Abyssal, but the magic resistance gain is very useful against Ari. She did die a few times. Kennen did die a few times against Ari, so it is a good choice to pick up maybe a bit of magic resistance because it can't hurt really, but it may hurt in the long run when he can't slow for at least another 5 minutes.
No, definitely. As we see, Yana with that Oracle at the moment, picking up a lot of wards here. It looks like Urgot's taking the... he didn't take that one. Yana picked that one up. But I think he did pick up one before, so Urgot really starting to pull ahead a lot. Aurelia doing a lot of damage up top. As we can see, the whole of CLG coming in from the side here, so Wicked is going to stay on Riven here. Riven taking a lot of damage underneath this turret. Aurelia is still taking a lot of hits from the turret, though. Needs to be a little bit careful. We do have Trundle and Urgot coming in, so they will pick up the kill. They don't actually. The flash away there from Riven, just about keeping her alive. Really good play. I think Urgot was a little bit too casual and thinking he'd already picked up the kill. Now we've got Shyvana coming in, but Urgot doing so much damage at the moment that they really can't do that much about it. And it looks like they are going to back away, but a real surprise they didn't quite manage to pick up that Riven kill there.
That's 4v1 under a tower. I mean,
yeah,
wow.
Really well survived there from Riven. It looks like they are maybe going to try and push this top tower now, or just have a lot of presence up in this top lane. As Yana picks up another ward, and at that time we see Urgot still there. Ari doing a fair bit of damage there to Urgot, along with Kog'Maw. Does get shielded by Yana, so he's going to be fine in the end. As CLG now find themselves floating down towards middle lane where Ken is.
So that was good play from WinFakt there, as well as CLG. And I think we're going to see a lot of action by Aurelia very soon. Oh, 1 second.
Does look like WinFakt are going to pick up that middle turret there. Urgot trying to pump out as much damage as he can with the Acid Hunter, but really not quite doing enough damage in the end. So it looks like they are now going to back away. Obviously quite happy to pick up that turret. Riven getting a little bit of harass there by Urgot, who is he is just providing a lot of annoyance here. for WinFakt. Trundle coming in does get picked off ever so slightly, but backs away quite easily in the end. So both teams looking for another team fight, it seems. Dragon has popped back up, so there will be a big fight around this Dragon at the moment. So we are just going to have a look at that. Cogmore dropping in an ulti there, obviously just in the wrong place. And again, so it looks like CLG might be able to pick this up quite early. They obviously have got the knowledge that there is no ward there. Looks like they are going to pick it up quite comfortably. Probably a Snite's going to pick this up, and it does indeed. And so they do pick it up there. So they pick up the third Dragon of the game. Obviously lost out on the last two, but a really good pickup from them. And now that we see CLG starting to pull ahead in terms of farm.
So yeah, this is where the farm sort of comes into its own, and they may be losing some objectives, but the gold makes up more than enough. So it's roughly 20 to 30 minions is equal to a kill. They are in front 2 kills, so that's essentially extending their lead, even though gold is still quite close at the moment.
No, yeah, I completely agree with you. The gold is close. It just, to me, it feels like CLG have already got this sort of aura around themselves that just sort of shows that they feel like they're going to win already. They've got a lot more confidence. WinFakt look a little bit jerky, a little bit slow. Not really sure. Trying to pick off some really wonderful kills, but none of them really coming through for them at the moment. So, yeah, CLG do seem to have this sort of psychological edge. Did win that first game, obviously, and it does seem to be playing on WinFakt's mind. They want to try and make these big decisions, big moves, but none of them really pulling off for them at the moment. As Ken decides to pick up red there. Interesting pickup. Obviously does have range. It's not a terrible pickup. He is AP Ken, so slightly a weird one, but I'm sure he can make it work. Both teams have got presence around Baron at the moment. Shyvana picking up that ward easily there. So WinFakt kind of know they're behind in this game. They need to pick up a Baron. I'm sure they're looking to pick up a Baron if they can. Obviously, CLG are never in a million years going to give them a free Baron. No way.
No, I think we're going to see a lot of contesting over here. This is going to be the hot point.
Yeah, it does look like CLG are going to try and get in here. Try and just push them away. Double wards dropped in that bush. A little bit of miscommunication there. Now CLG have got the vision. Yana taking away that pink ward in front of Baron, as WinFakt take down both the wards there. Oh, getting a fair bit of damage off with the Acid Hunter. Just so much poke for both teams here. They've both got a lot of range in the form of Urgot and Cogmore, as Urgot does hit a really good corrosive shot there, and he's going to be using his Acid Hunter on Ahri there to do a lot of damage. Both teams, no one really wants to engage. This is quite tense. CLG know they don't need to engage. They're quite happy to hold this. They're well ahead in CS, well ahead in gold, ahead on kills as well. So they know they don't really need to do that much yet, as it looks like both teams might just drop back now.
They need to wait for an opportunity to go for Baron. Wait for a kill. Just one death is enough to trigger a Baron rush. So they just need to wait for an opportunity, because at the moment when everyone's ready for it, this is not the time to do it. Yeah. So they both need to be ready for it.
Shyvana just having a quick ward check there at Baron. Obviously she does have that Oracle. She's not going to find any, as there are none up at the moment, but CLG, there we go, now dropping a ward down. So they will have an ever so slight vision on Baron, and they'll probably leave it for a little bit and look to push down mid. They want to have vision down this mid lane and possibly in that top lane, so they could try and take a Baron themselves. Dragon will be coming up shortly though, so I'm sure they'll be looking to take that as well.
So all these objectives are up, will be up very soon, and I think they're going to be the focal points of this mid game, because I'd say we're in mid game at the moment, as WinFakt have 2 turrets, and so does CLG. So I think we're going to move straight into mid game now. It's 30 something minutes into the game, and I think this is where Irelia and Shyvana will be coming into their own.
Yeah, Irelia's obviously farmed so well in this game. She's going to be watching watches. Ahri jumps in here doing a lot of damage. Irelia has to flash away. Yana comes in, drops her ult, gets away. Now Yana's going to find herself in a lot of trouble. Does drop in the end to Riven. So good kills there from WinFakt. Looks like they're going to turn around and look towards Baron. Urgot's still doing a lot of damage to Cogmore though. He drops below 50% health. Yana coming in there obviously felt like she had to save Irelia and found herself in a really bad position. Now WinFakt are going to try and go for Baron. They could be in trouble because if Urgot gets a good shot off here, he's going to do a lot of damage from the side. And they could find themselves in a really bad crunch position here. As it looked like Snoopy was going to come in there, but didn't decide to in the end. It does look like Ken is pushing down in that bottom lane though, and he has destroyed the turret. Nunu dropping his ult, as they do pick up Baron and basically a free kill on Trundle, who tried to come in and smite the Baron there, but didn't quite manage to get away with it. So that's pretty much over. We're going to quickly look down on Ken. Ken is pushing down in this bottom lane, has picked up one turret, is probably going to pick up this second turret. Ari, as we can see, slowly on her way into this lane. But Ken is doing way too much damage to it at the moment and has got it below a third health. So great split push there. They did know they were probably going to lose out on the Baron there after Yana got caught out of position. So a really good pickup there by Froggen to pick up a turret.
So that sort of compensates for losing Baron, not by much, but it does help. So, and getting the inner turret a bit low as well, that can't hurt.
Yep, as Cogmore picks up his red buff there. Very, very useful for him, obviously. Ranged carries should always be picking up their red buffs as soon as they can within the game. But not sure how that Baron, obviously Baron basically gives them the effective items of 500 goals worth of items.
5,000 more like.
That's what I meant. 5,000, apologies. As WinFakt No Dragon is about to come up, and it has come up. They are in there very, very quickly. CLG pretty much out of shape. WinFakt are going to pick up this dragon really quickly. Have picked up. That's 190 gold for each player. 25 GP for the person that picked up. I think it was Ari in that case. So I'm sure they're pretty happy. They picked up Baron and Dragon. So both of the major objectives on the map. Now they're looking to come in and steal Golem as well. They have got round well. That Pillar of Filth slowing all of the team loads, getting them all in one big crunch spot for Urgot to fire in his Noxious Corrosive Charge. And he did do a fair bit of damage there, but with Baron I'm sure they're not too worried about it at the moment.
Baron just gives so much regen, and it's just good to see that WinFakt are doing their best to make as much use of this Baron as possible, because you want to be taking damage, you want to be pushing down these towers, you want to get objectives, just because you've got so much regen, you've got so much bonus stuff that's coming from this Baron buff, so they're just trying to use it as much as possible.
Yeah, so let me see, if we're just going to follow Cogmore. I quite like following, it's quite an interesting thing. He is going to pick up Golem, it seems. Is going to mean he can spam out his ulti as much as he wants. So he's going to have all that harass that Urgot's got at the moment, and that they're really struggling to fight against is that Urgot harass in that mid lane. We'll switch out to Kent now. In terms of CS, obviously we do have quite a big mid. It does look like Cogmore has managed to catch Urgot up. He's only 14 behind now. But in terms of mid, Ken 324 minions to Ari's 200. So absolutely massive gap there. Irelia 268 minions to Riven's 188. It's absolutely massive gap. As we go into middle turret, a lot of damage going down onto this turret. It is going to drop. Urgot trying to do as much as he can with the Acid Hunter. Can't think of a word.
Move ability. What?
Harass. But as we see, WinFakt easily picking up the minute turret. So now they've picked up a turret, a Baron, and a Dragon, and a Golem essentially. Absolutely no comeback from CLG at all, and now they find themselves pretty much level on overall gold. So interesting, they have pulled themselves back into this game, and now they could find themselves in a really strong position to come forward and win this game.
I think they've done a really good job. They've been behind on farm considerably this entire game, but you know, by getting these objectives, it essentially makes up for any lack of farm. But saying that, it's not over for CLG yet. They are still even on gold. They are behind a few objectives, but they can pretty much turn this around. Once Baron buff runs out for Team WinFakt, they can turn this straight around.
As it looks like Irelia is going to jump in on Ari there. Did have to use her ult to jump away, but nice play there from Irelia, using Blade Surge on a minion. Obviously, if you kill the minion, you get to use it straight away and the cooldown gets refreshed. So using that really nicely there to do a double jump to get in on Ari there, and scaring her into using her ult, which is quite useful and could sway it in a team fight if a team fight eventually does come. It does look like both teams are pretty happy to sit at the moment.
Especially CLG with Baron buff, you do not want them to enter a team fight. It would just end up so badly for them. So they're just trying to wait around, defend until the buff runs out, which is now anyway. So we will see a fight hopefully quite soon. quite interesting though that Urgot's gone for a Warmong, so it looks like he's going to be building Atmogs. By the looks of it, he's got all the items for it. So Urgot with an Atmog, so it's going to be very hard to kill, especially with his shield.
Yeah, a
So,
little note that
unfortunately,
Riven did pick up that turret. It was really low in the first place, so was always going to get picked up eventually. But that's another turret there for WinFakt. Now they find themselves ever so slightly ahead in the gold count, so this could be the moment for them, really.
Definitely. Team WinFakt do need to win this game. This is a best of 3, and CLG have won the first one. So WinFakt do need to bring their best to this and actually win this game. They need to close this in. They could probably do it after next Baron. I'd say next Baron will decide a lot, and probably will decide who wins the game.
Yeah, no, definitely. The game seems to have dropped into some kind of lull at the moment. There's not really that much going on in terms of team fights and fights. Obviously, the biggest thing we've had is that Irelia jumping on Ahri, and Ahri getting a little bit scared and using her ult, which is now off cooldown, so no advantage has been gained there. But yeah, like I said, I think WinFakt realise they are behind on farm, so they are trying to pick up any extra farm they can before they get into the game. Obviously, farm is only useful to a very, very, very late game part. There's only ever a certain amount of gold you need to build all your late game. So maybe WinFakt trying to delay the fact that they are behind in gold and just trying to delay it as much as possible, when really CLG might be better off trying to get into a team fight here, because they have won both the team fights that have gone before. So maybe a bad tactical choice from them.
I'm sure we'll see fairly soon, as the game will evolve quite soon. I think buffs will be spawning quite soon, and we're going to see some action hopefully.
Well, we've got the whole of CLG moving obviously, as you would expect, in a pack. They don't want to get caught out in a solo. They are obviously aware that Baron has come up, so now I'm sure there will be a team fight. It is going to come up pretty soon. Urgot getting a fair bit of damage off with those Acid Hunter shots, but Cogmore punching back with his ulti there. Not doing that much damage, but obviously gives the vision if it hits, which can be really, really useful. So both teams doing a fair bit of damage at the moment. Dropping behind at the moment. Both teams, obviously they really want this Baron. I'm pretty sure the team that picks up Baron could win this game. So it's going to be really, really important whichever team manages to pick it up. But it has dropped into this massive stalemate of a game at the moment. Neither team really look like they want to engage in a fight, which is definitely interesting. Ken's got a Zona's Hourglass. He could quite easily engage, pop the Hourglass with his ult on, and be dealing a lot of damage when not taking any, and getting all those stuns out as well. So it's definitely interesting to see both teams dropping into this. Urgot doing a fair bit of harass against Ahri. Cogmore trying to do anything he can, but obviously doesn't have the same sort of damage that Urgot's got. And so it does look like I said, just dropping back at the moment, not too much going on. CLG,
there's no opportunity really.
Yeah, CLG trying to get position on Baron here to try and pick it up, but doesn't look like they're going to be able to.
Yeah, they need to wait for a kill or someone to make a mistake. Neither team wants to go, because if you start on Baron, you've got the Baron attacking you, plus you've got the rest of the team breathing down your shoulder. So they've got to wait for the right opportunity, and they're just going to poke each other as much as possible. And try and create an opportunity, basically.
Urgot does flash in, drops his ult, manages to catch Riven completely out of position. She's going to drop. Ken now drops his ult. Doesn't use the zonas yet, doesn't need to. Ken does pick up Cogmore. Ahri dropping very low to Urgot, as we can see. Ken then picking up a kill. Urgot picking up the kill on Nunu. Ken doing a lot of damage here. Shyvana taking a lot of damage, but Ken dropping a little bit low in the end. Urgot does pick up the kill. We do have Riven trying to run away here in the end, but that was a really strong engage there from Urgot, and that was the gap they were looking for. CLG picking up 4 kills. Ahri just about getting away, and now they're going to pick up a free Baron, and that could be it for WinFakt's game. Really great play there from Urgot. The flash and then the ulti switch really left Riven completely out of position, and now they're going to find themselves a free Baron, and all of a sudden basically level on gold, pick up 4 kills, and now they find themselves 3,000 gold ahead with Baron buff. So massive advantage picked up there for CLG, and I'm sure picking up that tower as well, as we just saw. So now I could see them really pushing home this game.
That was absolutely amazing. I never would have expected that sort of an opening from Urgot. On Riven, was it? It was just that was very gutsy, very bold, and they were able to just focus Riven down instantly. Great communication, clearly from Team CLG, and that paid off amazingly well. That's the sort of thing you don't see in solo queue. That's exclusive to team play, and it makes for a higher standard of play, definitely.
Yeah, it's not the thing you would have said. Obviously, you don't really want to pick out on Riven out of all the players, but obviously Urgot was happy with his team that they had enough damage to sort of almost cripple Riven straight away, which they did. Riven obviously survived quite long, but she came in, took so much damage just like that, probably down to 20% health. So a really good engage there. And it does look like they are going to pick up this dragon, so they're just going to pull even further ahead in this game now. That's going to be 190 gold each for all of them, and yeah, starting to pull ahead a lot now. So CLG probably going to look to get into a fight here, or just push down mid and slowly push down these middle turrets.
Just get as many objectives as you can. You have Baron buff, you might as well get something out of it.
And it does look like they are going to pick up this middle turret as expected, picking it up really easily. And looks like they're going to keep pushing. Why not? You've got Baron buff up. Maybe no, switching across to this side lane, so not going to stay in mid. Happy to switch across here and push through this lane instead.
So they're making the most out of this, and I think they realise that they can do whatever they want now with this amount of regen and bonus stats.
Yeah, with Baron up, I'm pretty sure they feel pretty comfortable to do anything they want at this stage of the game. And they are going to pick up this left side just outside inner turret and look to push forward. Obviously, like we said, they've got Baron 4 kills ahead all of a sudden.
It just turned instantly.
Yeah, it was very close for 10 minutes. There was absolutely nothing in it, but those 4 kills and then the Baron did pull them ahead. Now they've picked up 2 turrets to go with it, and they do find themselves just further ahead now of WinFakt, who are starting to drop behind and now can't really get out of their base. And now, if they were worried about CS before, they're going to be really worried about it now. Urgot again dropping an ult. Kog'Maw getting knocked up, dropping down instantly. Ken coming in with the ult. The whole of WinFakt taking so much damage at the moment. Riven trying to get away, but it looks like she's going to drop second. Does drop to Kog'Maw. Nunu trying to drop his ult now. Ari just about jumping away underneath the turret. Is going to survive. Ken does indeed drop his Zonia's Hourglass, and that will keep him up. Yellow Pete picking up the kill, and in the end picking up the ace quite comfortably, and the surrender votes do come out. So that is a win there for CLG, and they do move forward to the finals of the MSI NVIDIA qualifiers.
Wow.